15 years, blowing the doors off the competition, podcasting to planet Earth.
PNRNetworks.com.
This podcast is a member of the Blueberry Network. Blueberry. No E's. That's Blueberry, BLUBRRY.com. Blueberry.com.
This podcast is a proud member of the Lamb Podcasting Network. Find the network at largeassmovieblogs.com.
Connecting to server. Connection confirmed. Connecting to website. Connection confirmed. Adjusting lights to preset level. Adjusting sound. Adjusting volume. Recording.
Real movies for real people. T.C. Kirkham and Kim Brown. Subject Cinema 2020.
Hey kids! Welcome to Subject Cinema's special awards weekend coverage, as we always do. I'm T.C. Kirkham.
I'm Kim Brown.
It is awards weekend. It is early for awards weekend. Mm-hmm. Usually it's the last weekend in February. This year it was the first full weekend in February.
Yep.
I'm like, wow, the second full weekend. Sorry.
Everything's super early this year.
Well, the Oscars moved up for some reason. I still don't know. I think it was to cut down on piracy or some stupid reason. I don't know. But everybody's like, I hope they go back to the regular time next year. So we're going to talk about the spirits. This were the Razzies and the Oscars and all the stuff in between. Got to be honest, only watched part of the Oscars, did not see the spirits. So I can't comment on the ceremonies themselves, but...
Got to be even more honest, didn't watch any of the Oscars because I have the attention span of your average, shiny thing.
You did too. You were there for about a half an hour. I watched them for about 90 minutes. I didn't see the whole
couldn't tell
thing.
you what I saw. I couldn't. I don't remember any of it.
Maya Rudolph routine.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Kristen Wiig, which was kind of funny. And
yeah, no one.
I think I love Maya Rudolph.
I'm sorry, I'm with Billie Eilish and the look on her face during all of that.
Yeah. Let's get started with Saturday. Day was February 8th. And the Spirit Awards. Spirit Awards are the first awards given out every weekend. Spirit Awards are for our version of the independent. There's a British one too over there that does all independents. Spirit Awards given by Film Independent.
Yep.
The rules are the films nominated must cost less than $20 million to make. They bent those rules in the early part of the decade, and people got pissed because you had all these movies competing against each other, same titles, same people at the Spirits and the Oscars. So they cracked down on it. And this year there's a few crossovers, but not much.
No.
So let me run down the winners of the Spirit Awards given out by host Aubrey Plaza and the many presenters. Coming to you live on IFC from the big white tent on Santa Monica Beach, as they do every year. They put up this enormous tent that holds about 600, 800 people, and they do these award shows.
That must be fun.
Well, they've done the Billboard Awards that way.
Well,
too.
no, I'm just saying, all
those
people in a tent, that's like body heat.
Yeah, but it's a huge tent.
And condensation.
It's like being in an arena. I mean, it's huge. The winners at the 2020 Spirit Awards are as follows. The Best Feature this year went to The Farewell. Best Director to Benny and Josh Safdie for Uncut Gems. Best First Feature to Olivia Wilde for her debut directorial, Booksmart. Female lead went to Renee Zellweger for Judy. Male lead went to Adam Sandler for Uncut Gems. When did you ever think you'd hear a name Adam Sandler at a major award ceremony?
No, that's just
I know.
wrong. Oh, man.
Well,
That's
no,
just
from what I've heard,
not wrong.
A lot
but
of people
weird.
think the movie is hard to take, but his performance is utterly incredible.
Yeah.
People were shocked he didn't get nominated for an Oscar. Best Supporting Female went to Zhao Shuzhen for The Farewell. Best Supporting Male to Willem Dafoe for The Lighthouse. Best Screenplay to Noah Baumbach for Marriage Story. Best First Screenplay to Frederica Bailey and Stefan Bristol for See You Yesterday. Best Cinematography to Jaron Blacksheep for The Lighthouse. Best Editing, Ronald Bronstein and Benny Safdie for Uncut Gems. The John Cassavetes Award, these are the movies that are made for under, I think it's $5 million? It might be even lower than that. Went to Give Me Liberty. The Robert Altman Award for Casting went to Marriage Story. Best Documentary to American Factory. Best International Film to Parasite. Best the Piaget Producers Award to Molly Asher. Someone to Watch Award to Rashad Ernesto Green, the director, I believe, of Premature. Truer Than Fiction Award went to Nadia Shihab for Jado-Land, and the annual Bonnie Award to Kelly Reichert. There weren't any big surprises at any of the award shows this year.
Nope.
Everybody was curious as to which Spirit Awards would it get the bigger titles that people know, like The Lighthouse and The Farewell, or would they go for smaller films like, Waves and Loose? In the end, it was pretty predictable. There are a lot of great, and the bad thing is about the awards season is every year lately, I didn't count this year, I usually do at the end of the year, there's an average of 1,200 films released in America by American companies every year. That does not include the imports that come over from India especially, but also from China and from the rest of the world. This is the best of the best, and there's a lot of good stuff that was left off here. So that's what I can say. Now, that out of the way, there's been a change in the Razzies this year.
Yes.
The Razzies were usually given right after the Spirit Awards, before the Oscars. The Razzies, of course, the worst movies of the year.
The Golden Raspberry Award.
Yep.
For the worst movies of the year.
This year, they've changed their tactics.
Yes.
Instead of announcing their awards on Oscar Eve, they announced their nominees. Now, they are saying that the reason they are changing this is because they are in the pursuit of a television deal and hope to televise the Golden Raspberry Awards for the first time this year.
Right.
So here's the question. I was asking you this morning. We were both like, yeah. The question is this. What makes the Raspberries think they can succeed on TV, and what kind of TV deal will they actually get for an award show that features none of the stars because they don't want to be there because they're being awarded for the worst performance of the year or the worst movie of the year? I mean, a couple of times during this decade, during this century so far, a couple of people have shown up and had a lot of fun with it. Halle Berry showed up to collect her Worst Actress Award for Catwoman. Sandra Bullock did the same thing for one of her movies.
Yes, Sandra Bullock did that for All About Steve.
All About Steve.
The same year
Right.
she won an Oscar for The Bright Side.
Bright Side, yeah. So I just can't help it. I mean, is a cable network going to risk televising an award show that doesn't have any stars?
Well,
They may get stars to present. I don't know.
Well, my answer to that is actually a twofold answer.
Uh-oh, okay.
We've seen what gets shown on cable TV. Some of the shows that have been on cable TV over the last few years, I'm not saying these shows are bad. I'm not. I can't say they're bad because I don't watch them. But when you think about the fact that one of the shows that they've hyped the cadiddles out of when we've watched cable is that show, what is it called? The Misery Index? Or whatever it is?
Yeah, it's TNT, or it's on True TV, or one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole idea of watching people get hurt and then deciding which is basically the funniest story about.
Now they've got this new one where you have to eat burning hot wings while you're answering trivia questions.
Right.
Somebody's paying too much attention to Japanese game shows, okay?
It's the simple fact, I think it's the simple fact that the Razzies think there is a large enough audience out there that is sick of watching Hollywood's
congratulatory.
That's not the word I was going to go for, but they're sick of watching Hollywood's massive circle jerk of the ego that are all these awards ceremonies where basically everybody's patting each other on the back. Oh, you did so good. Oh, you did so good. This is basically them saying, you sucked.
Yeah.
And they think people are going to want to see that. And they may not be wrong.
Some critics have actually questioned the legitimacy of the Razzies anyway. They're given by a private organization. They are paid for...
Like the Oscars.
No. Let me finish. Mm-hmm. They are generally movie fans who pay $50 a year to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. But I got to look at them and say, well, that's exactly what the National Board of Review is, too. Yeah. And they're really, they keep an eye on that, even though we do make fun of them because they deliberately skew for getting as many stars at their banquet as they can.
Right.
Even movies that don't really deserve awards get them. But it's interesting. You have the full list of the Razzie nominations for this year, the 40th annual Razzies.
The 40th
this is scary.
Annual Razzie nominations.
And we didn't agree with some of these.
I didn't agree with one of them. Guess which one it is. We need some cheesy game show music back there. Guess which one made Kim snap off like a rabid dog on a very short leash.
It'll come up at the end. Anyway.
Okay. The nominees are for Worst Picture, Cats, The Fanatic, The Haunting of Sharon Tate, A Medea Funeral, and Rambo: Last Blood.
Now, be honest, most people have heard of all those, except maybe the second one.
Third. The second and the third.
The second one, The Fanatic, is a really critically lambasted movie with John Travolta as a celebrity stalker. Mm-hmm. And The Haunting of Sharon Tate is just this really terrible exploitation film with, who did we finally say it was?
Hilary
Duff as Sharon Tate. Yeah. Anyway.
As opposed to the other exploitation film that just won a whole bunch of Oscars.
Which was what?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It didn't win a whole bunch. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
It won some.
It won some, but not a whole bunch. Anyway.
Considering that was about as accurate as your average...
Oh, I know.
It was about as accurate as your average fanfic.
Yeah.
Worst actor, the nominees are James Franco for Zeroville, David Harbour for the 2019 version of Hellboy that absolutely nobody asked for. I'm sorry. Did I say that part out loud? Whoops.
We're not saying David Harbour's a bad actor.
No, we're not. We love David.
Idea.
We love David. And Guillermo del Toro, please come back. All is forgiven. Matthew McConaughey for Serenity, Sylvester Stallone for Rambo: Last Blood, and John Travolta for both The Fanatic and Trading Paint.
Trading Paint is a NASCAR movie, if you're interested. Anyway.
Yay.
Next.
Worst Actress, the nominees are Hilary Duff for The Haunting of Sharon Tate, Anne Hathaway for both The Hustle and Serenity, Francesca Hayward for Cats, Tyler Perry as Medea in A Medea Family Funeral, and Rebel Wilson in The Hustle.
I'm surprised they didn't give it to Rebel for Hustle and Cats. That's interesting.
We're not there yet.
I know that, yeah.
Worst Supporting Actress, Jessica Chastain, X-Men Dark Phoenix, Cassie Davis, A Medea Family Funeral, Dame Judi Dench for Cats, Vanessa Pineda for Rambo: First Blood, and Rebel Wilson for Cats, because Jenny Annie Dots is not a main character.
And that should have been Rambo: Last Blood. That I forgot to correct that when I typed it out.
Yeah, sorry.
And not your fault. That's how it was printed in the press release.
Supporting Actor, James Corden for Cats, Tyler Perry for A Medea Family Funeral as Joe, and also Tyler Perry for A Medea Family Funeral as Uncle Heathrow. Seth Rogen for Zeroville, and Bruce Willis for Glass. Worst Screen Combo, any two half feline, half human hairballs cats, Jason Derulo and his CGI neutered bulge for Cats.
Jason made a big fuss about that when the movie came out. That's why that's on there. Mm-hmm. He made a huge fuss about that. Anyway, go ahead.
Tyler Perry and Tyler Perry or Tyler Perry, a Medea family funeral. Yes, we get it, you guys. You don't like Tyler Perry. Crying out loud. How much money does he owe you people anyway? Sylvester Stallone and his impotent rage, Rambo Last Blood. Can I bring up the fact that he could probably still kick all y'all's asses? And John Travolta and any screenplay he accepts.
Yep.
Ow.
Yeah. Last few years, they got a point.
Did I say it was wrong?
No.
I just said ow. Worst director, the nominees are Fred Durst. Yes, that Fred Durst. For The Fanatic. James Franco for Zeroville. Adrian Grunberg for Rambo Last Blood. Tom Hooper for Cats. And Neil Marshall for Hellboy 2019. Worst screenplay. Cats, screenplay by Lee Hall and Tom Hooper. The Haunting of Sharon Tate, written by Daniel Farranz. Hellboy 2019, screenplay by Andrew Cosby. A Medea Family Funeral, written by Tyler Perry. And Rambo Last Blood, screenplay by Matthew Cirknick. I don't know how you say your name, Matthew. I'm really sorry. I did my best, man. And Sylvester Stallone. Mm-hmm. Worst remake, ripoff, or sequel.
Okay, be ready for the alarm to go off here.
X-Men: Dark Phoenix, Godzilla: King of the Monsters, Hellboy 2019, A Medea Family Funeral, and Rambo: Last Blood.
So you're pissed about a Medea family funeral, huh? There was nothing wrong with Godzilla King of the Monsters. I don't know why that's on there.
Before we continue,
have at it, darling.
Kim would like to make a small editorial comment. You beep! Thank you.
The previous editorial does not necessarily reflect... Oh, yes, it does. What the hell?
And cram it with a rusty spoon.
Oh, ow. Okay.
Moving forward. Worst reckless... I feel so much better now.
Good.
Worst reckless disregard for human life and public property.
This was a new category as of last year. This is continuing to... They're continuing to do this.
Apparently, this is the Collateral Damage Award.
Yeah, this is what they started it with.
Ugh. Dragged Across Concrete. I don't even know what that is.
I do. Go on.
Okay. The Haunting of Sharon Tate, Hellboy 2019, Joker, and Rambo Last Blood.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Joker deserves to be in there because all the violence in it was integral to the story.
Yeah.
It was something, that's what the movie was about.
Yeah.
So I think
and
that's
it was
unfair.
rated R.
Yeah, it was, but I think that's kind of unfair.
So shuffle off to your safe spaces, you little precious snowflakes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, anyway, moving on.
And I actually have no political leanings whatsoever. I just get tired of hearing this. Oh, they're wrecking buildings. It's a movie. Calm the F down.
Yeah, I know.
The Razzie Redeemer Award, this is for people who have been mercilessly
who have won
battered.
And are now having actually had a good year this year.
Who have been battered like a fish stick and this year have actually made something of their careers again. The nominees are Eddie Murphy for Dolomite Is My Name, Keanu Reeves for John Wick 3 and Toy Story 4, Adam Sandler for Uncut Gems, Jennifer Lopez for Hustlers, and Will Smith for Aladdin.
Now, here's
one. Fascinating.
Here's another one. Did you ever think the Razzies would give Adam Sandler a good award?
No.
He's usually leading their bad acting awards.
So the most nominations were for Cats with 9, followed by A Medea Family Funeral with 8, Rambo Last Blood also with 8, Hellboy with 5, The Haunting of Sharon Tate and The Fanatic tied at 4, and Zeroville with 3.
Yeah. So the Razzies, we will have the updates on it as it comes on, as we hear what day they're going to give them. Mm-hmm. We'll give you the complete winners list when they come up with it.
Yep.
And wish them well with their television attempt.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
I'll check it out if they actually get there. It'll be interesting.
Yep.
All right. Now we move on to the big one. The 92nd, right, Annual Academy Awards.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Were handed out in Los Angeles last night, February 9th. And, man, I don't think this could have gone any more clockwork in the predictions of most of the prognosticators out there.
Yeah.
A lot of them were divided on Best Picture, but the rest of them were fairly solid, and most of them won. It was an interesting, I have to admit, what little bit I saw, the highlight of the evening, I think, for what I saw, was the shock appearance by Eminem to perform Lose Yourself, which he did not do when it won the Oscar 15 years ago.
Yep.
Billboard noted today that it shot sales up 2,000% almost of that song, which is just amazing. I think it was because this year, most of the Best Song nominees were just kind of meh. With the exception of the song that won, which we'll get to in a few minutes, and the song from Harriet, which didn't win but was really spectacular. The rest of them were just kind of meh.
I don't want to speculate why Eminem does anything he does, because I just don't. I think maybe because now he feels like he's in a better place. Head-wise, which I hope he is, because he's incredibly talented.
The neat thing about Eminem's appearance is not very many people knew he was there. It was a total surprise even to most of the audience, although there is speculation that DiCaprio knew because he came hustling out of the bar back to his seat right before he showed up on stage.
That might be.
So,
but see, you can still keep a secret about a big person showing up and have almost nobody know about it.
But
WWE.
The whole thing was kind of lame when they opened with that younger actor I'm not familiar with, and then Lin-Manuel came out to talk about how music makes the movies and movies make music. And because Lin-Manuel was out there introducing, I was like, gee, I wonder if Eminem's here tonight. He just had a new album come out 2 weeks ago. It was a huge hit. It's a actual concept album.
Right.
And I'm like,
well, a lot of his stuff has had concept running through it.
But I knew he hadn't performed before, and I'm like, well, you got somebody who's known for a rap musical like Hamilton out there introducing this. And as they got closer and closer, and they were showing clips of the music, and then they started showing a longer clip from 8 Mile with no music, and I'm like, he's backstage, isn't he? Yeah. That was electric. I mean, ABC had to bleep half the song, but he still has it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm not a big fan of rap overall, but I like him. I've always liked him.
I'm not either, but he's an amazing. He's an amazing writer. He's an amazing performer.
He can be hilariously funny, and I'm
not saying there've been a couple of times when I haven't been like, but I definitely respect his talent.
You didn't like the Maya Rudolph Kristen Wiig thing, huh?
I don't know. I mean, it was, some of it was funny. Some of it I was just kind of like, nobody remembers that song.
Yeah.
That kind of
The
thing.
Vogue bit was pretty good.
The Vogue bit was very good. The Vogue bit
perfectly.
The Vogue bit was nice.
I'm a sucker for Maya Rudolph. I love her.
Yeah, the Vogue bit was nice.
And then they had, you missed it, you'd already left, but they had Will Ferrell and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who are co-starring in Downhill that comes out in a couple weeks. Give the cinematography award. Well, we know how important cinematographers are, blah, blah, blah. They're the most important people on the set. They get us from the set to the trailer. They get our food for us. All these really ridiculous things. And then somebody started talking in Ferrell's earpiece, and they did the same for another category. It was really funny. I was ecstatic to see one winner in particular we'll talk to, because I haven't seen the movie, but what I've seen of the clips are just amazing. And we'll talk about that. I was pissed that some things lost, though.
Yeah. I was pissed upset about other reasons.
So, other reasons? Okay, well, we'll get to that too then.
Yeah.
Let's kick it off here. We'll each do a few of these.
Alrighty.
Then the Academy Awards 2020. The winners are Best Picture. Set a record last night. For the first time in history, it went to a foreign language film. Bong Joon-ho's Parasite. Lead actress went to Renee Zellweger for Judy, and lead actor to Joaquin Phoenix for Joker.
And the Best Director Oscar went to Bong Joon-ho for Parasite.
He was not the favorite in that category, by the way. Quentin Tarantino was.
Best Original Song, the winner was I'm Gonna Love Me Again from Rocket Man. written by Elton John.
And Bernie Taupin.
And performed by Elton John. The original score, the winner was, I'm going to mess this up, Hildur Gudnadottir.
No, that's exactly right.
Who was the writer of the score for Joker.
I believe she is the first female to ever win Best Original Score, too. I'm not sure. Her acceptance speech was cute. I mean, you could tell she was exciting. Best International Film. The first year they've titled that. It's Best International Feature Film. Used to be called Best Foreign Language Film. Also to Bong Joon-ho's Parasite. Makeup and hair, I was absolutely thrilled. I don't normally care about this this category, but this year I did. It went to Bombshell, primarily for Charlize Theron's amazing transformation into Megyn Kelly.
Mm-hmm. Best visual effects, the winner was 1917.
It was the only thing Endgame was up for, and it should have won.
And also Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
That was up for a couple.
But that was up. But I'm just saying, yeah, because it's so much easier to create completely alternate worlds out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know that.
Oh, sure it is.
Whatever.
We're not bitter, are we?
Just another example about
Thanks, Marty.
Yeah, just another. Well, that's the thing we can just take comfort in. He didn't win Best Director.
He didn't win anything.
Yeah. I'm so upset.
Best film editing.
Yeah, sorry, I had a cough hairball
Best
up there.
film
sorry.
editing went to Michael McCusker and Andrew Buckland for Ford versus Ferrari.
Best cinematography also went to 1917, Roger Deakins, cinematographer.
Sound mixing to 1917.
Sound editing, Ford versus Ferrari, Don Sylvester.
Supporting actress went to Laura Dern for Marriage Story, as predicted by many.
And the best documentary short subject winner was Learning to Skateboard in a War Zone from Carol Deisinger.
That's the only one of those I've seen, and it's awesome. If you haven't seen it, it should be on... I think it's on A&E on demand. You can look around for it. Mm-hmm. Best documentary feature went to American Factory, from directors Julia Reichert and Stephen Bognar. It is worth noting that the producers of the film were Barack and Michelle Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, best costume design. Don't read into stuff, please. Best costume design. The Oscar went to Little Women, Jacqueline Duran.
I could have brought up the Q word, but
don't.
I didn't. Production design went to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood to Barbara Ling and Nancy High.
And the best live action short film award. I'll get it right in a minute. Mm-hmm. The Neighbor's Window, directed by Marshall Curry.
Best adapted screenplay to Taika Waititi for Jojo Rabbit.
You said it right! Yay! It only took you 3 years.
I'm getting there.
Yay!
I got Mahershala Ali. It took me a while, so give me a while to get...
I know. And best original screenplay went to Bong Joon-ho and Jin Won-han for Parasite.
Very nice. Animated short went to Hair Love from Matthew A. Cherry. Animated feature surprised a few people. It went to Toy Story 4. A lot of people thought it was going to go to Missing Link. Well,
yeah.
You know.
And best supporting actor went to Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
The controversies, if there are any really, like I said, a lot of people today that are fans of Leica animation are pissed again. This is the third time that all the critics and stuff have gone gaga over a Leica film only to lose it to a Disney Pixar film.
Yeah.
Most notably, we were pissed when Kubo and the Two Strings lost.
Pissed?
Yeah, to
Pissed?
Zootopia, although Zootopia's a good movie.
I think we were, whatever is above pissed and a step below Godzilla rage, that was us.
Yeah. Brad Pitt was widely expected to win the supporting actor award, so that wasn't a big surprise.
I don't know, though. I mean, so many people were talking about Tom Hanks' performance
months ago.
Well,
Pitt's been the only person in the conversation for the last month.
All right.
The original screenplay award. This is where it comes into this, and nobody expected the domination of Parasite.
No.
Parasite has been winning awards since last May when it won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. Mm-hmm. Bong Joon-ho, best known in America for Snowpiercer and Okja, which I forgot he had done.
Yeah.
This man was so gracious and killingly funny in the 2 acceptance speeches I saw from him last night.
Mm-hmm.
He is an amazing filmmaker, and he was astonished when he got Best Director and then Best Picture.
Yep.
Everybody thought 1917 was going to win Best Picture.
Yep.
Now the question, of course, all the people are coming out of the woodwork again. Then it come out every time this happens. And it's the second big question we have, and it's a legitimate one. I mean, it really is when you think about it. The question is, a group of local film critics and some Academy members have been complaining for a number of years, saying that if your film is nominated for one of the other 3 Best Picture categories, Best Animated Film, Best Documentary, and Best International Film, you should not be eligible to have that picture up for Best Picture. Now,
Personally, I think that's bullshit.
but it does kind of take away from the other films that could get in there. Some people are furious that if the Oscars had a feeling they were going to give it to Parasite for Best Picture, why didn't they give Best International Film to Les Miserables, which is the other favorite there this year? It's a very big question. There were 2 historic firsts this year. Parasite is the first ever feature film in a foreign language to win the Best Picture Oscar. And Honeyland, a critically acclaimed documentary about honey workers in Somalia, I think it is, made by North Macedonia, was nominated for Best International Film. First time a documentary's ever been nominated in that category, because it's in, I don't remember what language it's in, but it's in another language. Mm-hmm. Cross-pollinization?
I don't have a problem with that. I really and truly don't.
Okay.
I mean, if you have a problem with it,
I'm asking.
I don't have a problem with it simply because something is an animated film. Some people still, because they're stuck in a little box inside their head and they won't get out of it, they think an animated film is, well, that's nice, but it's an animated film. That's not a real movie.
Yeah, in the Oscar history, no animated film was nominated for Best Picture until 1993 when Beauty and the Beast was nominated. And since then, only, I think, just 2 others, Toy Story 2 or Toy Story 3 and Up, have been nominated for Best Picture.
Not for nothing. And you're entitled to your opinion. Mm-hmm. I'm entitled to my opinion, which is that you can take your small-minded opinion and shove it up your butt sideways.
It's interesting, though, that while people will defend the animation being also up for Best Picture, there has never been a documentary nominated for Best Picture.
No, which I think is crazy.
Yeah, I do too, especially considering some of the great documentaries
Considering some of the documentaries we've seen that deserved to be nominated for Best Picture.
Or
something
even
like...
most of the stuff we've seen that we've loved wasn't even nominated
No.
for Best Documentary.
We
lucked out last year when Minding the Gap got a nomination, which I was thrilled with.
For a second, let's just back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Look at a film like March of the Penguins. That was an amazing film, and I would have been completely like, hells yeah, if it got nominated for both documentary and Best Picture.
It won Best Documentary.
Because... It is both of those things.
It is, yeah.
It is a documentary. It teaches you something.
Yeah.
But it's also a Best Picture because it gives you these amazing views of a part of the world that people don't usually see. And that's not even considering films that we know were amazing and should have been nominated for an F-ton of things. Films like Blood Brother, and other films like that unfortunately nobody's seen. I think the one film that really got the shaft when it came to Oscars, I don't think it was nominated. I think it was on the shortlist, was Rich Hill. That movie touched me so much, and I'm just like, it was a crime that it wasn't. I don't think it got nominated for Best Documentary. I might be wrong. I'll have to look it up, but I would have wanted a Best Picture nominee. I mean, if you talk about a film that should have been nominated for a ton of things, Project Nim.
Yeah.
I mean, considering the fact that film made me blindingly, seethingly, Super Saiyan level angry, it was still a film that people needed to see.
It's an interesting debate. It'll probably be going on for a while. Some of the stuff from last night also that happened, I guess people were freaking out about Timothée Chalamet's outfit. He apparently, I saw a picture of it. It was, I don't know, almost like he belonged to like a galactic police guard or something.
Neat.
He looked ridiculous. I mean, he really did.
Look, I only have one measuring stick when it comes to the Oscars. Are you wearing a swan? If you're not wearing a swan, everything else is fine.
She is never going to forget Bjork did that.
Everything else
She was
is
up for Best
fine
Actress.
as long as you don't show up wearing a swan. Everything's perfect. Everything is
I have
just
to admit, that was a hilarious thing.
fine.
Natalie Portman
I loved
picked
what
the
she
most
did.
understated way to protest this year.
Yes.
The edge of her gown, the
Cape.
jacket,
the cape she was wearing
was
yeah.
embroidered with the name, or in gold embossed,
Yes.
with the names of the female directors who were not nominated for Oscars.
And
this
it
year.
was
there
done.
were a lot of them.
It was done so subtly and so tastefully. It wasn't done in these big bedazzled 8-foot letters. It was gorgeous. It was understated. It was tactful. It was something you'd expect Natalie Portman to do.
Yeah, she does.
You know,
her outfits are always great.
And she's such a wonderful actress and such a very nice person. And I was really impressed with that. Now, can we talk about the thing that pissed me off?
One more thing.
All right.
The one moment that really I thought was just brilliant, and I'm glad they did it, was the teaming to present a couple of awards. Was the teaming of Brie Larson, Gal Gadot, and Sigourney Weaver, the original 3 superhero women on screen.
Yeah.
Both Gal and Brie paid homage to Sigourney for her pioneering work in the Alien films, and they were just so, they said, they were just so good together, and obviously rehearsed stuff, but the remark about how after the ceremony they were going to go out and start a fight club, I thought was just hilarious.
My money's on Gal.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. Brie's pretty tough, and she's indestructible too.
Gal was in the Israeli army.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
So.
Yeah, but
Mic
Brie's
drop.
Captain Marvel, for Pete's sake.
Mic drop.
I don't know. Ripley could probably kill both of them.
I don't think so.
I don't know. All right, so I just thought that moment was beautiful.
Okay. Yes, it was. I've seen pictures of it. They're wonderful women,
Yeah.
They're just great. Okay. All right. Now, I realize that every sunny day has to have a little cloud, and that's apparently
Into each life a little rain must fall.
I'm the little rain cloud that's going to come in and be like, you idiots. Because every year this happens. Every single forking year this happens. Yeah. Now, sometimes
I'm gonna put this up on caveat, okay, real quick before you go off on it.
All right.
I don't blame you for being angry, and I don't think they should have left him out either. But the In Memoriam segment is put together usually several days. I mean, they had to redo part of it to get Kirk Douglas in. It was already finished, and Kirk passed away Thursday?
Something like that, yeah.
They left out FX Feeney, but there was no excuse for what you're about to talk about.
Yes. The In Memoriam segment, which is also known as the Wait Till Kim Sees This part of the show, because Kim always goes, why the F did they leave blah blah off, those effing mother effers, those idiots.
Anthony would call it the Death March. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to talk about the year they left Akira Ikefube off.
Oh,
you want to talk about nuclear heat? Oh my gosh.
Could you please explain, for these listeners who have no idea who you're talking about, who Akira Ikefube is?
If you don't know who Akira Ikefube is...
Most of our fans should know, but if you don't...
Shame on you!
Now stop that.
He was one of the musical, people involved with the Godzilla films. He did the music and a lot of the music in the Godzilla films, a lot of the other kaiju films, and is the person who came up with Godzilla's iconic roar.
Yep.
So
that explained why she was pissed when they left him off.
Oh, I was not pleased. And when mommy ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
I haven't heard of them leaving off anybody except the person that we're talking about.
No, actually, I found out somebody else
there
they
is
left
another
off.
one. Okay.
Yes, there's a few other people. I'm sorry, I can't think of who one of them is, but one of the people they left off was Luke Perry. That sucks, considering he was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you dumbasses.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was in a lot of other films, obviously very well known for Beverly Hills 90210. Now known to a whole new generation as Archie's dad on Riverdale and gone way too soon. And we miss you, Luke. So much love.
And what do you want to bet Chris Jericho finds a way to throw that in Jungle Boy's face on AEW this week?
If he does, the tirade that I come up with will make Richard Pryor's ghost blush.
For those of you who don't know, Luke's oldest son, Jack, is the professional wrestler known as Jungle Boy. He's quite a star in AEW
He's
right now.
quite a star. He's quite amazing and good.
He's really amazing.
God almighty, is he gorgeous.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But just saying that Chris has thrown the Hollywood Golden Boy thing in his face before, even though he's supposed to be this Tarzan clone. So.
That's because... Like, Chris has done, like, one of those Asylum movies or something and was in one of the Sharknado films.
He's done more than... Well, plus he was in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot as the bad guy.
I know.
So, there you go.
Anyway. Just kidding, Chris. Love you. You're beautiful.
Just gonna jump off with a little bit of bubbly.
Just kidding, Chris. We love you. You're beautiful. Don't ever change. The other person that I just found this one out.
Yeah.
Because I've been walking around all day with a mad on about them leaving Luke Perry off. I just found out from a little research one other person that they left off, and I'm like, oh hell no! Mm-hmm. Why did you leave Sid Haig off? Why?
They didn't, did they?
There are not enough swears. There are not enough swears to bring up the fact that you numbnuts left Sid Haig off of your list of people on the in memoriam. Are you kidding me?
I don't remember when he passed away. I think it was within the year, though.
It was definitely within this. It was definitely in 2019. I'm pretty sure.
Well, we're checking. September. So it's like they should have had them in there.
Yeah, I found that out I was reading through Twitter and somebody brought up Luke Perry and somebody else.
I feel sorry for the interns
and Sid
because
Haig.
they know they're going to leave off. I mean, we found out the hard way. There's so many people. Of course, we do everybody. We don't just do film, and they concentrate mostly on film people. Mm-hmm. Like they a lot of times. Trek fans have been upset that they've left several of the Trek stars out of it.
They left Jimmy Doohan off.
But they did do them on the Emmys.
Yeah. So, did they leave DeForest Kelley off? Or
yes.
They did.
Yes.
Yeah. And they left Jimmy Doohan off, I think.
They did do both of them on the Emmys, but not the Oscars.
But I'm like,
I mean, that makes more sense with Jimmy Doohan because he was best known for television. But DeForest Kelley had a huge career in Westerns.
Yeah.
And, of course, he starred in Night of the Lepus. So.
Wow.
With a really cheesy mustache.
Oh my gosh, we really had to go there. But Sid Haig, I'm like, you numbnuts. Yeah. I don't believe you leave one of the icons of exploitation cinema and
horror films.
And American horror films, one of Rob Zombie's most used actors in all of his films from, like The Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses and all these other films.
That's stunning.
I'm like,
I mean, for me, I have to admit, as I said earlier, Luke Perry I can kind of understand because he's best known for television. He's best known for 90210 and for Riverdale. But he did have a couple of big hit movies, and he should have been included in both. He was included in the Emmys. They did a special tribute to him at the Emmys as far. So it's like... but
I'm serious. I'm like...
Sid Haig, there's no excuse. I'm sorry.
I'm like, you dorks. Boot to the head to all of you.
And one for Jenny and the Wimp. Boom, boom. Before we go, really quickly for this special.
This is so cool. You guys have to check this out.
We have been running the last day or so a Save Our Screens for a theater in Washington State. It was drawn to our attention, and apparently a lot of other people, by a feature on yesterday's All Oscars edition of CBS Sunday Morning.
Yay!
In which Lee Cowan, who I think should have gotten the host job when Charles Osgood left, not Jane Pauley.
I think I should have got the host job, but nobody asked me.
You're not a CBS News person. We watch that show every week. We love it. And they spotlighted a mom and pop theater called the Kingston Firehouse Theater in Kingston, Washington.
Do you have any idea what that is?
It's right across the lake from Seattle. You can see Seattle. You can see the Space Needle.
Oh, cool.
And it's really Craig Smith and his wife have run this place since they put their life savings into creating it.
Yeah.
And they needed a little help. They've had some setbacks. They had to get digital, which set them back. Craig had a heart attack last year.
On the job.
And it's all run by mom and pop and a few other people in town. It's
volunteers
a small town
and stuff, yeah.
Of 2,000 people. They had raised $6,000 by yesterday morning.
Yep.
Since Sunday morning aired, they have gone from just over $6,000 in donations to $171,566. Their goal is $250,000, but Craig's wife was on here and said, "Hey, we've made, the big goal is made. It was $150,000. They've made it, so they're now in kind of a stretch area."
Yeah,
guys. This is what we exist for. These small town mom and pop theaters that are being driven out of business by the damn multiplexes and the damn studios, and it's gonna get worse if they repeal the Paramount decree, which is still a possibility.
I mean, they had the gentleman that runs this theater. He goes out there, and before every show, he will talk about the movie with the people in the theater.
They actually do that at ArcLight, too.
Which is fantastic. They had the Star when they were running. They ran the Rise of Skywalker, and they had.
They had a Star Wars costume party.
Yeah.
Place was half sold out, and everybody was in costume.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
I'm sorry, I still don't get the dude that came in the Wookiee costume. I'm sorry, bro, but I mean, it was a cool costume.
Well, the one lady just had the Princess Leia hairdo, but she had regular clothes on, so that didn't really count.
No, her heart's in the right place.
Oh, so was the Wookiee guy.
Well, no, yeah, but my thing about the Wookiee guy is, I'm like, dude, you're in like Bigfoot country.
Yeah.
I mean, the wrong person saw you, they'd be like, Sasquatch, blam, 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 and don't need that.
They are trying to get to $250,000 for their goal. Help them get there.
Donate.
You can go to GoFundMe.com/Kingston-Firehouse-Theater, American spelling, ER, not RE.
Yep.
And donate. We donated this afternoon. I wrote to them and I said, "Hey, we do the Subject Cinema podcast. We're going to talk about this on the air, and hopefully, it'll help." Because I mean, look, Craig actually said this, and let me pull it up here real quick. After the where did I find it? It's here somewhere. Oh, rats, lost it.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, give me a second. Yesterday, Craig posted. Wow, thank you so much, everybody. Lee Cowan and CBS Sunday Morning moved my wife to tears. How people can capture the essence of a dream. And so many people reminded of going to their small town theater and wishing there was one near them again.
Yeah.
We raised the goal to help us realize the long-term dream of keeping it open well after Craig retires. Thank you so much. There is so much love for going to the movies still alive. That's what Save Our Screens is all about.
There really is. And there should be.
You can click on the link in the show notes. You can go over to my full post about it today. I tweeted about it. It's on our Facebook. Or you can go directly to GoFundMe.com /Kingston-Firehouse-Theater, ER at the end, and donate. And
do us all a favor, and do them a favor, because they deserve it, because what they're doing is a really good thing. Tell other people.
Right. Tell other people and tell them you heard about it in your comments, that you heard about it on Subject Cinema and from eCinemaOne.com and our Save Our Screens campaign, which we've been doing for 10 years, and we've been very happy to help a lot of theaters stay open, and it's very, very, very cool. We've only lost one of all the ones we donated to, and it's really great. That's going to do it for our awards wrap-up show. We want to apologize that we have been having problems getting our February festival shows up. They'll be back this weekend. We will have 3 shows in total. Kim took a nasty spill last week.
Kim failed her Dex check
for several days. And we also had some problems this weekend when we were getting ready to do the show again. A family friend lost their father, and we've been trying to be there for them anyway.
Yeah.
So it's been a rough 2 weeks. We will have 3 shows. There will be 1 this weekend and 2 the following weekend, 1 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday, covering all the January festivals. So please be there. Don't forget to write us and let us know what you think at subjectcinema@eCinemaOne.com.
Yep.
No, subjectcinema@PNRNetworks.com. Sorry.
Too.
And don't forget to be part of our Patron Circle. Like the Firehouse, we need your support. Come over to patreon.com/PNRNetworks. Follow her on Twitter at Platinum Roselle. Follow me at eCinemaOne and eCinemaBoston. And I think we're going to wrap it right there.
I think that's it, yeah.
For the Subject Cinema 2020 Oscar Postmortem, I'm TC Kirkham.
I'm Kim Brown.
We will see you this weekend. Ta-ta!
Bye!
You have been listening to Subject Cinema with hosts T.C. Kirkham and Kim Brown. Subject Cinema is produced by PNRNetworks, Boston, Massachusetts, which is solely responsible for its content. Subject Cinema is copyright 2020 by PNRNetworks under a Creative Commons license. Check out a new episode of Subject Cinema every weekend. Until next time, this is Bob Taylor for Subject Cinema, and we'll see you at the movies.
Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.
15 years, blowing the doors off the competition, podcasting to planet Earth.
PNRNetworks.com